Hey guys, welcome back to the YKB, Why Keep the Box Collecting, where we immediately store the value of our figures and free them to the plastic and cardboard prison. I got you something nice today. It's NECA's Iron Maiden Future and Past tour. I don't know what it is. My wife picked it up for me. It looked cool. It has a samurai, I think the guy's called Eddie, but samurai zombie and a futuristic monster dude. It looks cool. Let's take it to the table. Alright, so we got this box over here. For the most part, it's a cool looking box, and I'm gonna split this review up into two because I want to look at the figures individually, and there's too much, and there's two figures, so I just want to review them separately because I want to spend more time on them individually. So I'll have the time below so you can see if you want to watch both. But there you go. That's what they look like in their packaging. I absolutely love the way NECA packages their products. Just, I like the open box concept where you can look inside of it. There's the future version of him. And there's the, I guess, an Oni zombie mythical thing. I don't care. It looks cool. I'm not into Iron Maiden's music, but I might be into their products. So let's get this future and past tour open. There is them in the packaging. Alrighty, here is future Eddie. I can't remember his name. Somewhere in time Eddie, sorry. That's what the box says. So let's get a little closer. And for the most part, this dude looks pretty good. I like the paint. I like the paint apps. I like the design. Like the whole ripped off skin thing. I don't know what's up with this character, but it's a choice in the design. Looks good. That could definitely put in some quality. It does look like this might be some reuse because there is pin. And, NECA does have some pin characters, but I think this 2-pack is one of those we've made it before and type of things. But the figure looks good. Let's go look at his accessories. So already we have his accessories, which is a blaster, future blaster of some sort. Looks weird, looks futuristic, looks like it belongs in Star Wars. And we have a couple hands here, nothing crazy. We have 2 trigger fingers, 2 semi-grips, and that's it. This one didn't have a lot of accessories, but the Senju one, whatever, the samurai one, had a lot more, so I figured they went a little bit lighter on this character. You might consider these accessories, but they are attached to them. So, this is in here. It doesn't look like it can come out. It looks like it's glued. Yeah, it's glued in there. So, that kind of sucks. I would want to be able to take that out, but you can't. But enough said, let's get these accessories on. Alright, since we got them over here, get these accessories on them, which basically just amount to hands. These are just kind of regular hands. Guess these could be like zombie type of hands. They work. And these peg system is pretty good. I don't feel like it's too tough. Don't feel like it's gonna break. Let's get this blaster in. And I'm only gonna leave on one semi-hand because see if you can't hold it. There it is. Turned. And this is the proper wrist peg too. So there you go. He can hold his weapon. So that works. Yeah, I know I forgot to do this earlier, but do it now. And get his regular blasters in there. Looks pretty good. I'm not into the cords. Cords kind of throwing me off a little bit, but it works. It kind of just wrap all throughout this character. Kind of hinders the articulation. Well, speaking about articulation, let's get to that. Alrighty. He can do a T-pose. Moves all the way around. Rotates all the way around. I have to move for this a little bit so it doesn't get destroyed, but moves pretty easily. Wraps around pretty easily. Ball joint so it gets to move. All that perfectly. There is it seems like just a waist twist, but it doesn't get much range because of the way this is sculpted. So, but it's a ball joint for the hip. Cannot do a split because of these holsters. He can move his leg all the way around, almost all the way around. I thought he could, but that doesn't move any farther than there. So that's the waist twist. But I guess he could technically kick that high up. It's technically a ball in there, but if you can see, that paint's coming all off. So I'm destroying all that paint. Is there drop down hips? No. But there's some waist twist. Double jointed. Can he kick his butt? Yes. He doesn't really have one, but he can kick it. That's an ugly joint, but he's a future robot dude. Doesn't matter. Can this turn sideways? That can. Doesn't look like this one can, but the top joint can turn, so it does bend the little top bit though. That does go 90. Standard ankle rocker. This paint does flake off pretty easily, this gold paint, so you will have to be careful with it. Is this technically a ball in here? I don't know. I guess, yes, it is technically a ball. So, his articulation's fine. Butterflies would be nice, but that would break up this beautiful sculpt. Does look pretty good. Kind of sucks that he can't do a split, though. But, you know, it's more of a statue than he is a figure. He can move around enough, so this is technically a figure. But just the amount of details and stuff they put in here, this really is more of a statue. But has more articulation than that. It's a beautiful looking figure, let's be honest. That's what I have to say. I'm like, look at that face. Look, I'm not into this robot look. Maybe because I'm not into, like, I don't know, the character itself with the missing skin type of thing. But they definitely passed on the detail department. All this is a perfect letter grade. Just looks absolutely amazing. I have a McFarlane stand on them. So, but I do not like these wires. These can go. They might get cut. I don't know. Does look amazing though. Alright, since we got him standing here, let's go and see how tall he is. Eddie to the top of his head is about 7.5, and I would say about 8 inches to the top of his antenna. So, you know, take up some room. And let's get his arms down as much as possible. He's going to take up about 3.5 because his arms can't go perfectly perpendicular. So it's about 3.5 of room he's going to take on the shelf. So, you know, nothing crazy. Let's go and see how, I want to bring out some, like, Space Warriors, see how he compares to them. Alright, so we have Eddie, and let's stick in some Space Warriors. There is one droid, K2SO, and here is another. I cannot remember. Is that T11? Is that I cannot remember him. But you know, there's a couple droids from Star Wars. There is, I can't remember his name, but he's Vizsla. It's one of the Vizslas. Past Vizsla, present Vizsla. I can't remember. But he's one of the Vizslas from The Mandalorian. There is NECA's RoboCop. There is the Doomslayer. And just because, let's move this out the way. And just because, you know, I have the Doomslayer out there, there's Master Chief. So that's kind of how he looks scaled up with, you know, like future soldier, you know, army type of things. It's kind of how he scales with them, how he looks with them. At least the ones I got. You know, I think it looks fine with them, but he definitely looks off because everyone else is A, shorter and covered in armor. He very much is, you know, the opposite of RoboCop. You know, RoboCop is mainly an armored person with almost little people, and he looks like if you throw a little bit of armor into a person. So, you know. But I guess it works. Here's both Eddies side by side with each other, you know, so you can see how detailed and how amazing both these characters look side by side. Forgot that I haven't done one of those. Like, I'm clearly leaning towards him a lot more, just because I like the samurai Oni look. And the future guy, you know, he's okay, but if he wasn't part of the 2-pack, I doubt I would have got him. My wife picked him up because she very much knows I like, you know, monster samurai things. But, you know, not to say he's not bad, because he looks amazing, detail's amazing. I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. But that's besides the point. Let's get back to the video. Alright, let's see his scale. First up, I have a NECA Turtle and a McFarlane Spawn. Weirdly enough, I feel like the Spawn really works with him. Loyal Subjects Inc. Star Wars Black Series. Marvel Legends. G.I. Joe Classified Series. SH Figure Arts Naruto. Jack Specific Simpsons. So, obviously he's way too tall for everything else because he's 8 inches. You know, can he really scale with anything? No, but he's a future, you know, robot irradiation man, so does he need to scale with anything? Probably not. So, I guess it's fine, but I do feel like he's a little bit too tall. So, what can I say about this future Eddie? I think the paint details are absolutely amazing. Sculpt work, amazing. Articulation's pretty decent. I don't know. I'm not a Iron Maiden fan. Not really into rock and roll. But he looks good. You know, I did not know rock stars made figures. You know, really didn't know, but if there's more of them, I might pick them up. Not too interested in this dude. I only got it because he was kind of a 2-pack. I don't like the head thing. Maybe if I can do some modifications on this to remove this. Just because I feel like, I don't know, it's too much. At least for me. But this figure's fine. I wouldn't stop anyone from getting this. I wouldn't even judge anyone for having this. They put a lot of care and work into this figure, and it shows, and it looks great. But for more reviews like this, come to the YKB. Like, share, subscribe, and I'm out. It's a good looking figure. Maybe more artists should do figures.